Good morning. This is another one of our presentations from Accelerant Referrals. I'd like to introduce Rick Sheninger. As a sales and marketing professional for over 25 years, Rick Sheninger, along with his company One-to-One Marketing, specializes in using technology as leverage to build more real-life relationships with customers quicker. He is a firm believer that, in this high-tech, high-touch world we live in, people want quicker access to the personal touch and personalized attention without having to pick up the phone when they don't know you. Rather than offer cookie-cutter customer service, we specialize in helping businesses focus on real communication with the individuals they serve and discovering and delivering what they want and need. So go ahead, take it away, Rick.
Well, thank you, Gabe. I appreciate that introduction. Thank you so much. And, we've really become a social society. I mean, with all of the social media platforms that are out there and all the different communication platforms in general that are out there, we really have become that high-tech, high-touch society. Nobody wants to sit on hold for waiting for customer service for 2 hours. Nobody wants to wait around for, I hate to pick on any company, but, cable company, we'll just say cable company X to come out between the hours of 12 and 5 to come fix your cable. So they want that high touch, but nobody wants to pick up the phone. Nobody wants to they're afraid they're actually going to have to talk to somebody if they pick up the phone, which is great when they know you, but not so great when they don't know you. So that's why social media is such a great avenue, a great platform, because it gives you the opportunity to start a conversation, to start building rapport, to start building that relationship without having to pick up the phone first. And what I wanted to focus on today is LinkedIn in particular, because for one thing, it's a business platform. People don't go to LinkedIn to see pictures of cats and dogs doing tricks. People go there in a business mindset. And it's also a more affluent platform than Facebook, especially Snapchat and some of the other ones. 44% of the users on LinkedIn make over $75,000 per year. So it's a more affluent social media platform. So where I wanted to start today was talking about your LinkedIn profile, because really without a strong foundation, the rest doesn't make any sense. And a lot of us have had or have created a LinkedIn profile maybe several years ago. LinkedIn started on Cinco de Mayo in 2003. And probably all of us have a LinkedIn profile, but maybe we created it 5 years ago because we were looking for a job. I mean, often that's where it started, because that's where LinkedIn started, was, as a job search connection platform. And it's evolved. It's become more of a knowledge platform. I don't want to get too in-depth into that, but it's really a great resource that's often overlooked. And I just think it's important for all of us to take a look at our profile, and we can always make it better. So with that, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to take a look at the LinkedIn profile optimizer checklist that I created. And really what this checklist is intended to do, it's just to look at each section of your LinkedIn profile step by step and say, all right, well, this is fine like it is, or hey, I could do this a little bit better, and there's some tips and tricks that you can follow one by one. So first and foremost, it's important, the language that you use in your profile is important. Now, I know it's a business platform, but at the same time, you want it to be personalized. You don't want to, and this is something that I did for years, you don't want to switch into just business jargon, because A, people outside of your industry may not understand it or may not recognize it, but B, if you're walking up to somebody in a in-person networking event, you're not going to suddenly jump into a bunch of businessese. You're going to have a conversation. Social media, even if it's LinkedIn, it's still conversation, because it's where the conversation starts in the virtual world. So you want to keep a personal touch. You don't want to use cute titles. You want it to be everyday words, simple words that people can understand, because if they have to look it up, you're going to lose them. They're going to go off and go down that rabbit hole. Something else very important is to use a professional image. Now, if you can use a professionally done image, it's even better, but it at least has to look professional. And I'm going to share real quick a couple of image examples, some good and some bad, that I've found on LinkedIn. And I'll talk through that as we look at that. So this would be an example of a bad LinkedIn profile picture. We got the alcohol bottles in the background. He doesn't really look business professional. And if I ran across this profile, I would keep on moving. This one, I mean, it's great that they're a couple and they have a little baby and the Santa Claus hat. But again, if we're talking about a professional profile picture, this does not qualify. This is great for Facebook, not so much for LinkedIn. This one here, and I put some labels on this. It's kind of blurred and faded and off color on the edges. No smile. He's in his car, which is overdone to begin with, but again, not a good profile picture for LinkedIn. Now this one, he's in professional attire, smiling, great background. It's just a neutral background. So that is a great example of a picture. And then this one too, she's smiling, professional attire, and a clean, clear background. Now it doesn't have to be blank like this. It can be, a nice nature background or something along those lines, but you just want to make sure it's a clean background and not cluttered. So this one here has the leaves in the background, so there's nothing wrong with that. Business attire, business casual in this case, a smile. So also a good example of a good LinkedIn profile picture. So I just wanted to share those examples because it's important to visually see the difference between good and bad LinkedIn profile pictures. The headline, beyond your title, you do want to list what you do because it's important for context, but at the same time, you also want to make sure you have what you do for the person, the benefit that you provide your customers in that headline. So using this example, if you're a mortgage broker, you want to indicate that you're a mortgage broker, but what do you really do? Help first-time home buyers successfully navigate their first home purchase. I mean, that narrows it down, and it'll stand out because it's not just CEO of XYZ company or mortgage broker for XYZ company, because that's what everybody does. You want to stand out above and beyond what everybody else does. In the summary section, you want to include keywords. Make sure they're contextually complete sentences. You want to use Unicode symbols. I've got a website here. Unicode symbols are the stars, the checks, these little symbols. They show up in LinkedIn because you can't use emojis, but you can use these. They'll show up and it stands out because, again, it's something that not everybody is doing. Now, more people are starting to do it, but it's not something that people are doing regularly, so that tends to jump out. In your summary, you want to make sure you have a call to action. What do you want them to do? Again, you're designing your profile to be attractive to your potential customers, clients. So what do you want them to do if you're reading your summary? You want them to call you? You want them to visit your website? You want them to email you? Make sure you communicate it clearly. Just don't be pushy. Don't be like, oh, you got to call me right now. Not hypey. Your past positions, your experiences, you want to make sure it's relevant. It's fine if you worked at McDonald's at some point and you want to include that, but when you do include that, you want to tie it into what you're doing now. You want to make it relevant to how you can help your customers now. Activities and organizations, always important to add volunteer work, organizations that you work with, anything else that might boost your professional position and help you stand out as a leader within your community. Competition. This goes back to keywords. You want to make sure that you look at what your competition is doing. If there's stuff that's working for them, maybe some of those keywords you can incorporate into your profile. So you want to look at what they're doing and how it is working or not working for them, and look at how they're doing using their keywords and where. Add media, images, videos stands out more than just words. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and a video is worth even more. Video especially is the quickest way to connect with a person short of being there face to face. So if you can use videos in your summary, in your experiences, to help explain what you do, then it just takes you one step further, and again, one step above the competition. Recommendations, I highly recommend that you get recommendations, testimonials from people. There's a way inside LinkedIn, you can request it. It's simple. Inside there, just seek to be recommended. But third-party validation holds a lot more weight than you shouting from the rooftops how awesome you are. So recommendations are important, and you can tie it to any of your experiences. It has to be tied to one of the experiences that you have listed in your resume or in your experience section, but you get recommendations from people. Video recommendations are even more powerful. So if you can do that, again, takes you one step above your competition. So that's the profile optimization. My name is Rick Sheninger, and I'm with One-to-One Marketing. If you want a copy of that LinkedIn profile checklist, I've got a link here, one-to-one-marketing.com/LinkedIn. It is opt-in for name and email, but it's not something I'll harass you about. It's just, but you get the free copy of that LinkedIn profile if you go there.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks a lot, Rick. I really appreciate it. Great job.
Thank you.